Sophie!
No! Okay. This is mean. This is just ridiculously mean of you. Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the SpeakBeasty Correspondents Common Room. I have forgotten the name of it because Melanie is a mean person. Well, on March 29th, 2020. I'm finished now.
I am Melanie and I did not approve of this miserable beginning.
Juliana here.
And I'm Allie.
And I'm Sophie, the official Tina Correspondents.
Well, hello and welcome. And for the first thing I want to say is that we have a lovely new addition as an official member now to our team. And we had so much fun the last 2 episodes to record with Ellie. And therefore we asked her very politely if she would like to join our team. And she was very excited. So,
hey, so are we.
Welcome.
Yay. I'm so happy to be here.
We are happy to have you. So for the beginning, our official Tina correspondent would like to start with the Just a Smidge section. So I give over to you.
If you have listened to episode 15 of the SpeakBeasty podcast, you realize that they talk about the Ilvermorny houses and especially about a theory somebody had from the Mugglecast podcast, which I highly recommend. It's a beautiful podcast. His name is Eric, who I love because he loves Tina. And he said that you can easily track or combine 2 houses, one of the Hogwarts houses and one of the Ilvermorny houses together, and then you have then you realize how they are connected. To which I said, wait a second. Your theory doesn't make any sense because look at this. He says, you are either a Thunderbird when you're Hufflepuff or Gryffindor. You're either a Puckwudgie when you're a Hufflepuff or a Ravenclaw. You're a Horned Serpent when you're either a Slytherin or a Ravenclaw. And you're either a Vampus when you're Gryffindor or a Slytherin. Now, the thing is, I am a Ravenclaw and a Thunderbird. So, according to him, this doesn't match. And the thing is,
and I am
all
too
of the 5
a Ravenclaw and
exactly.
And
From the 5 of us being Ravenclaws and Hufflepuffs, 2 of us are a Ravenclaw and a Thunderbird. So I want to say, Eric, I love you, but your theory is just wrong.
Well, it can't fit to everyone, of course. That's just...
No, but I really do know a lot of Ravenclaws and Thunderbirds.
Even, I mean, for me, it actually fits because I'm a Hufflepuff and a Puckwudgie. So for me, it already fits again.
Yeah, but I feel like Hufflepuff and Puckwudgie is really like, this is like something you could easily put together. Like, they're meant to be together. Yes.
Yeah, they are.
Have the silliest names.
That's the only reason. Silly name must be the same thing.
Does it have a goofy name? Okay, it's for me.
That would be great. A Hufflepuffwudgie.
Puffpuggy?
A Puckwudgie Puff.
Hufflepuff.
Puckwudgie. Or Puggy
Yes.
Puff.
I do like it.
So is there more to it that you want to say, or just
No,
that
that was
you're
everything.
wrong?
I just wanted to say, Eric, you're wrong. You're right about Tina, but you're wrong about this theory.
I was thinking you're coming with a whole theory now. Why?
No.
Wrong, you know?
No, I just wanted to prove him wrong that out of the 5 of us, and we are not a lot of people, and we are not a lot of houses. We just have 2 houses in here. But the 2 Ravenclaws are not fitting into his diagram. It should be disturbing and it should be destroying enough of his
I remember this.
theory.
I remember this being also done in the very early beginning when it just came out, sort of. So I have actually not. I don't remember exactly anymore what his analysis was, but
I don't know.
feel like it was
I remember-
probably.
I only know this drawing. I don't know if he ever had a whole reasoning to it. I only know this drawing.
I don't remember if it was Eric or Michael, but one of them did an extensive collect of data. But I think it was Eric who collected a lot of data around him to construct his model. But I like the idea. I disagree with the final diagram, but I like the idea of because I don't fit in it, of course. But the fact that one houses from one school can represent two parts of one houses of the other school, it doesn't make sense. But like every houses either in Hogwarts or either in Ilvermorny can have two sides in it, and so like we know for the Ravenclaw that we have the scholar brainy side and we have the creative quirky side. So you have two sides of inside the house, and it could fit into two different houses in Ilvermorny. And the opposite could be right too. Maybe but we don't know enough about the Ilvermorny houses, so but maybe the Pukwudgie have two sides too. Maybe the Pukwudgie are the caring, but also the I don't know.
What is Queenie more than caring? I mean, she is kind of manipulative in a way, and so I would say it kind of even fits into Slytherin. So I don't think you should combine the two houses really, the two schools together with the houses. I think take it on purpose made it like two different things.
Yeah, but I like that the combination
because also British people are different from American people. So, and I'm not saying this in any way that I want to offend somebody. It's just how
so
it
offended.
is. That it really just is like it is. You can't say that every person is. I mean, I'm a Ravenclaw, and I say I'm a 100% Ravenclaw, but at the same time, I do see why I'm a Thunderbird, and I don't think that I'm a Thunderbird because I'm a Ravenclaw. I think it's just completely two different things.
Yeah. I keep thinking that we actually don't even know anything about the houses except for what the creature is and what the main aspect of the house is, like the heart, the mind, etc. And we don't know more about it, not like with Hogwarts, etc., where we know so much more about. So it's really difficult to draw these comparisons because we don't have any information, and we are apparently not getting any more. It's been so many years now.
Yeah, and we don't have it.
I hope
we don't have enough characters to have example of what an actual people from these houses act like. We just have Tina in Thunderbird and Queenie in Pukwudgie, but we don't know more.
Serafina is in Horn and Serpent.
Yeah, but again, we don't have...
Her character is really like, it could be anything, because we don't know a lot about her.
Like, I was going to say 4-chair turn. I've been watching The Voice too much. They all 4 houses wanted Serafina, so she could have anything.
Oh, yeah.
She chose Horn Serpent,
Which I love. I love this about Ilvermorny. That's why I always like, whenever somebody says Hogwarts is better than Ilvermorny, I'm like, but, I kind of like Ilvermorny better than this.
Well, maybe we'll see it in the third one. I don't know. We'll see.
I hope so. I really, I lay all my hopes into Eulalie. So.
I think we might see something of the school, but do you really think we're gonna get that much detail? Because we don't have any students really that are going to the school that we are following around, you know, like we did with Harry and Hermione and Ron.
Yeah,
So
I don't think we get an insight like we did in Hogwarts, but I think that maybe a few flashbacks or just having a teacher that we get a little bit more insight. I'm not saying we are getting a whole insight into it like we got with Hogwarts, but
yeah, and something in the plot could lead the characters into Ilvermorny, like they could go to Hogwarts because obviously Dumbledore is there, but again in the Potter books, some key elements of the plot were in Hogwarts, but not because the characters are students, but because Voldemort put something in Hogwarts. So you can have we can imagine something hidden in Ilvermorny or something important of Ilvermorny that the characters will need to have for I don't know what reason, maybe destroy the blood pact or something like that. So we could imagine anything that could lead to Ilvermorny. So
remind me later to give you a theory that I have between Tina and Dumbledore, because I have a whole new thing going in my head.
Oh.
Okay. Shall we move on?
We shall. Oh, somebody's a badger in here.
He's talking nice. About the dog, yeah.
Jesus. We are getting tier animal names in the dog. I don't know why, but somebody's a badger right now.
Anonymous badger.
Anonymous badger.
There's a penguin too.
Yeah, I see the penguin.
There is a penguin.
So this was just a smidge section. We are not really having chosen a main topic today, so we are just moving on to tea and strudel with Dougal.
Wait. No. Ellie had something to say in chat.
Just the smidge.
Really? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. I didn't see that. Oh, go ahead.
It's in pink. It's hard to read. So one of the things that they were talking about in this episode was they kind of like dogged on apparating and how much they apparated in the first movie. And I was kind of like, that was one of my favorite parts. Like, why are you guys saying that's a negative thing? But
yeah, I like how Eddie and Catherine in interviews for the second movie were like, that was one of the most horrible things for us to do. We were like researching it and we were like trying to get it right, and then they showed us and we were like not in the picture anymore. And where did we go? We had all the faces ready. That was so cute.
Yeah, I love apparition too.
Yeah.
It seems very adult too, versus like the Harry Potter movies are about kids who can't apparate, but like adults.
Yeah.
Like if I could apparate, I would apparate all the time. So it makes sense.
And also again, totally. The cast was asked a lot if you could do some sort of magic, what would you do? And I don't know if anybody else said it, but I do remember that Catherine a lot of times was like, I would just apparate because I don't like flights.
Yeah.
Which is same girl. I hate flights.
All right. Shall we try this again? I'm sorry. So let's all move on to tea and strudel with Dougal. We have many predictions today to go through, and as usual, let's start with our snacks. Do we have any?
Yes. Yeah, I just brought tea.
I
have little chips. Found some chips.
Little ghosties.
And I have Snickers, which is so plain, but at the same time I thought, look at this, it's the French flag. So I
have chocolate covered almonds.
I have some lovely pomegranate pizzazz tea. Woohoo! It's fancy.
Whoa.
Fancy.
I'm having some tea too, and I have found my favorite cookies.
Ooh. Oh, salted caramel.
I love
They're
I
so
love that.
good.
They never have it anywhere here. It's like they don't like it. I don't know. But salted caramel is one of my favorite things.
Yeah. We used to have them here in one store as well, and they disappeared. And now I finally found them in a different store. So I
You
immediately
could say
bought
they
several.
separated.
Maybe. So I'm making a lot of noise.
I love Snickers.
Yeah, see, I like the Three Musketeers bars. I don't know, I'm not really a Snickers
We
person.
don't have that here.
Really? It's like almost the same thing as the Snickers, except
Really?
doesn't
Oh
have the
my
caramel.
god.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I do like how Americans always think that the world really, has everything just because they have it.
We're very entitled.
We are.
So
But the thing.
who would like to?
For the first
Yeah.
prediction, it's a dialogue between Shannon and Ariel, so I think we could be two to read that because it's quite long.
Mm-hmm. You do Shannon, I do Ariel.
Okay.
Oh, I have to speed up with my chewing.
Yeah, so a bit of context maybe for the episode. In this episode, they were talking about a new not trailer, but I don't know how you call that. Featurette, yes.
Featurette, yeah.
Yes, who was called Newt, a new hero, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so in this featurette there was quite a few new extracts from the movie. So they talked a lot about that, and so Shannon was talking about the Makusa scene, and Newt, Jacob, and Tina are on their knees, wondering. So she was wondering if this is the same day that Tina brings in Newt, because I think they already had the picture of Tina going inside with the case talking about Newt, and now we have the scene with Newt, Jacob, and Tina on their knees, and yeah, that's the context.
And Ariel answers to that she thinks that Tina would have come in first and told them about what happened, and then would have come back to the next day with Jacob and Newt, because she only mentioned Newt the first time in the clips, saying that some beasts were released. So I think
Shannon, So Shannon said that maybe now they have been brought in after something bad happened.
And Ariel says, and maybe she got caught up in some of it, and that's why all three are down on their knees, because she's in trouble now too for something.
Yeah, so Shannon said that they must have been arrested. It looked like their hands are cuffed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, only half point.
Well, it confused me because I don't know what they've seen first. If they saw something first where she really is it's a day earlier and she's bringing in Newt for the first time, and she's like, he's done something wrong, and Serafina is like, well, I don't care, get out of here. If they mean that, then they're right. But if they are really just in the little clip where you see Tina walking up the stairs with the case in hand, then they are not right. So I don't know what they are referring to when they say, is it a day earlier or a day later?
Yeah, no, I think they only had the clip where Tina is with the case in Makusa and talking about somebody he's in New York and some beasts are escaped. Have escaped.
Yeah, because
and,
you see that you see the clip where she's walking up the stairs, but the dialogue you hear is actually from the day earlier. So they are kind of right and also kind of wrong.
Yeah, but I understand why it was confusing, because I think we until this clip we didn't expect Jacob to be in this scene. So that was the new element in it. But yeah, it's just one scene.
It once again shows how, just to confuse people, how they cut everything together in small trailers and clips.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't even fit together. I mean, it sort of fits together, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and even when it
So it's
fits
from two
together,
different
we get
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even when it fits, we get suspicious about is it editing or is it really the same scene? We
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But don't you love it about the trailers where you're just like, what does
Yeah.
it mean? And then it doesn't mean anything. Or it means, oh my God, it's snowing outside right now. Oh, shit. Squirrel, I have ADD.
Our next point, who would like to take that one? Just that I can eat my cookie.
Shannon was referring to the Hangout discussion earlier on YouTube, where they were talking about this featurette. And Newt brushing Tina's hair behind her ear. Okay, I need a second. That was beautiful. Okay, standing in front of a boat, so he might be he might be about to leave. Talking about if this scene is at the end of the movie, and in Parasthetics it says, but she thinks it might be part way through the movie that McCusa is kicking him out cause I cannot read. But she thinks it might be part way through the movie that McCusa is kicking him out cause he brought all of these bees, but then he's coming back, obviously. Her words, not mine, and that's Melanie's. Ariel then says, thinks they won't end the movie that way. And Shannon says, I don't think they would show us anything so close to the end of the movie. And I'm saying, no Dougal Award for them.
No.
Because it was like really the end of the end to the end of the end. And even in, do you guys know CinemaSins, where they are talking about everything wrong with this movie?
Mhm.
And they always do when, so at the moment the trailer, the title is set in the film, they're like, roll credits. And in that moment, saying like, Fantastic Beasts ratified, and he's like, oh my God, just roll the credits. So it is really at the end of the end, more than the end.
Yeah, so definitely they missed that, but but I love how sometimes the prediction create an alternate story, and the fact that Newt could be sent away and then come back, and I totally see that, because like they said, it's quite usual trope for this kind of movies to have the hero sent away, but then he has to come back. But no, not this time.
Well, but he kind of at the end is sent away when she says, please leave now, don't come back.
Yeah.
And he might return at some point there anyway, so it's maybe not within that movie,
But it could be
in
the
that one, but it
movie.
could come into later part of the story. So
I
wouldn't give them a point
about
but,
it.
Yeah.
Maybe 0.25 points in the future. We'll see.
So we have lots of comments from Shannon here because she was leading this section. So
And she has no accent, so excuse our lack of accents.
Darn.
Juliana, would you like to take the next one?
Oh, of course.
In your best Floridan accent.
That's some variation on a southern accent, but I feel like I don't know how to come
I
at
don't
that.
have any.
So we are, okay. Newt looks like he's good at herbology. And then Aaron adds, he's squeezing the magic out of plants. Like, boom, have some magic. I think they refer to the scene where Newt milks the swooping evil and mistakes it for a plant. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
He
but
rubs-
you can see him in the futurette really rubbing a plant. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's doing something with it.
Maybe it was like a
editing
cut
again.
thing.
Something. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
He rubs some plants in his hands, so. Oh, this is you guys. Sorry.
Only the green part.
I only read the green part. My bad.
The rest is
Yeah.
our comments. Yeah, I think that I have actually. Sophie, did you see, or was it Marjolaine who saw what they have been watching, this featurette thing?
I put the link into our chat.
Ah, okay. Because he was saying that he's squeezing out the magic from the plants. So the scene was probably in there, so they mixed both up.
Yeah, it looked like he was doing this to the plant and then he was squeezing out of the plant.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah, because they edited together the part where Newt was preparing the thing for Jacob when he was picking plants and doing the thing for Jacob to heal the bite. And then just after he picking the plants, the editing show him squeezing the swooping evil to extract the venom.
Yeah.
So that's but the swooping evil cocoon, I guess, is green. So I understand why they thought that was a plant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not too far, but not exactly.
Not correct at all.
Sometimes it's hard to give points or not to give a point. Like I tend to. I feel like I should give half a point.
Because he is good with plants. He is able to prep an antidote right away for Jacob. So
I would, I would think that he would be good in herbology because I mean we might still get some sort of answer to that as well. But I would think that if he knows everything about beasts, he would know a lot about plants as well because they might eat certain things, and he has to make potions and stuff. So you will automatically learn a lot about plants. Everyone will in their school time. So doesn't mean that you are exceeding at herbology, of course, but that you would have at least the basic knowledge.
He definitely at least got an acceptable on his OWL. We can probably agree to that.
Yeah.
So next point is again from Shannon. She talks about Newt standing in front of a wooden stage and that there is a desert in the background. She's thinking if this is only a backdrop or if he could actually be in a desert.
It's a backdrop, so you will watch to her.
Yeah. And I guess they didn't. Yeah, they didn't.
Point.
Yeah. And I guess they didn't figure out that it was inside the case. So, yeah. But again, I don't know how they could figure that out. So.
And I think that Juliana should read the next one again because she had a lovely voice for Erin.
Thank you. Okay. So Shannon says, I must be coming. Oh, sorry. Oh, wow. I'm losing my brain. Duh. Okay. The bowtruckle seems to be a jerk.
Say that to my face, Erin.
Yeah, I hate that comment.
Yeah.
Jerk.
And Ariel is
Still.
Yeah, exactly.
He is sassy. We'll give her that.
Yeah. He's definitely sassy.
Not a jerk.
And I love that about Pickett. That's why he is my favorite, because he is sassy. I love sassy people or beasts.
He is definitely in my top 5, probably top 3 of favorite beasts. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I do have a Pickett, and he's not here. He's in the living room.
I have only a very tiny version of him from the Funko Pops.
Same. I have him here.
Yes, I have the same.
Oh, that's so cute.
that's cute.
I have one that is actually kind of like I don't know what you call it in English, but it is in the measurements. It kind of exactly fits how tall he is. It's like this tall, and I got it from Aurelia, our dear friend from SpeakBeasty.
Oh, Ariel.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
Pickett is a pet.
Speaking of boat truckles, Ellie, do you want to take the next?
Sure. So everyone was wondering if the Bowtruckle was still a baby because he's all green and doesn't quite fit the official description of being like brown and more like twig-like.
Yeah, and I did agree with that until we saw Crimes of Grindelwald, where I don't know if it is Pickett, but in the scene where they are in a flashback scene where Newt explains the boat truckles to Lida, he has a boat truckle on his hand and it looks like Pickett. Of course, you could say all the boat truckles look alike, but no, they actually do
No,
have
they
very
don't.
they do have very different features. Like for me, except for the 3 legs that Pickett has, he looks very human-like. Whereas the other boat truckles kind of look weird because they have like 3 arms or 4 arms and 4 legs or something. But that boat truckle really looked like Dougal, so I think it was Dougal. And it makes me wonder how. Or did I say Dougal? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Pickett. That makes me wonder how old boat truckle's gonna be, and do we gonna get to see Pickett die? And I don't wanna even think about that.
Why? No.
He's turning into Groot later.
Yeah.
I wonder if he changes with the seasons. Like he's more stick-like in the winter, but more green in the summer.
Yeah, but we've seen him in December, and we've seen him in
True.
July or something. I don't know when the second film was happening, but yeah, it was different seasons. So, and he was always green. But it was a good idea. I have to say, it was really a good thought. Just not true.
In that flashback in Crimes of Grindelwald, do we see the boat truckle in its full size, or only how he peeks out from his pocket again?
He's standing on his hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but I do think he's smaller.
Smaller.
Yeah. But also
Because
I have to say, green is a better color to distinguish from other in a scene. Like if you have something brown in there, which is so tiny and so thin, you might not see it. So I think that's why they choose Pickett to be green.
And to have it on the pocket too, because I think the pocket is
brownish. Yeah.
So
it has a brown edge to it.
Yeah.
I do kind of get the feeling though that in the first movie that Pickett he seems quite young somehow, like he's in his teenager phase or something.
Yeah.
Like he's like really vulnerable and so childish in a way.
Yeah, so but we don't know how old boat truckles get. If they get like to up to 150 years, they could easily be in their teenager years, so to speak, like for 20 years.
I'm thinking of Baby Yoda now.
Still haven't watched it, and I do not want to.
Every time I watch it, I audibly go, "Oh!" Every time Baby Yoda comes on the screen, I can't help myself.
I mean, same, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that I have to watch The Mandalorian.
No.
Because
we can't. We don't even. No. Oh no, you can now. It's in Germany now. We still don't have it.
It was supposed to be release this week in France, and they postponed it because of
which is stupid.
The virus, which is
Because now in German there are going around memes that are like Mickey Mouse is paying the coronavirus money to say like thank you for that, because we're all stuck at home and we can all just watch Disney Plus.
But you have it at least on. You have at least some sort of date. Finland isn't even on the list yet, so it can still wait. It can still take about 2 years or so before it comes out. So
I'm sorry. Another reason not to see Finland.
Yeah, I
Okay.
had a comment about Pickett, but it was almost the same that Melanie said. It was more about how Newt interact with Pickett, because like you said, at some point, the two of them interact in like Newt is the parent, and Pickett is like a child or a teenager when he's talking about attachment issues, when he's talking about talking about the other are bullying him or something like that. But at other time I wasn't thinking about teenager, but you're right, because at other time he looks like Newt really trusts him and give him things to do. So so
He's just the greatest. Oh my god. I love Pickett so much.
Yeah. And he has every right to be angry at Newt and in the scene that they are talking about. He has every right to stick his tongue.
Yeah, it's so cute.
I would never give him away.
I wouldn't either.
So next we have again a comment from Shannon, and I think for this one it has to be Sophie who talked about it.
No, because I am asked about this, so you have to read it first.
Okay, so it's about this wonderful picture of Tina with mustard on her face, and so Shannon is asking if it is indicating of a comedic moment in the movie. So I want to ask our Tina expert what she has to say.
Well, I don't think it's a comedic aspect. I don't think it really means to be funny. I think it just has to show that Tina is a quirky character, that she is a good character. Because if you watch the movie for the first time, you could easily think that Tina is Newt's antagonist in the movie. Like in the first half, all he has to battle is Tina. So I think it's just show she's a good character. She has her quirks, she has her flaws, and I think that's why I love her. That she is an antagonist. I think that is a really cool transition from a character, but it's also said the reason why a lot of people don't like her, because she is so mean to Newt and he is not. He is so cute, and how could she do this to him? And I'm like, because it's the law, you idiot. But I think it's only because of it. I don't think it's supposed to make us laugh or something. It's just supposed to show us who she is.
Yeah, it makes her relatable because she tries everything to be serious and to be strict, and but she has mustard on her face, and so it can happen to everyone. So when you try to be very strict and very serious and to talk very seriously about something, but the people in front of you is talking to you, but you have salad on your teeth, so I can focus on what you're saying. Sorry. So
I actually have to think of the moment where Hermione is drinking the butterbeer.
Oh yeah. A lot of people are comparing these two.
She is like similar to Tina, that she wants to do it by the rules, and everything has its order and we have to follow those rules. And then she has this little mishap with the butterbeer foam on her lip, so that reminds me a lot of the mustard scene.
I just said that a lot of people compare it to that scene, which is not true. They compared a lot of the scenes to the scene where Ron and Hermione meet for the first time, because Hermione is like, you have something there, and Newt is like, you've got something on your face. So I compared those scenes.
That's true
a lot
too.
Together.
Yeah, that's cute. So next, it's not exactly a prediction, but they talked a lot about the mention of the the marriage between nomads and magical people being not allowed in America, because we have this dialogue between Tina and Newt in the clip, and how confusing to them it was that this typical mention is included in the clip, because it contradicts what they knew about magic in America, and they were talking about the background stuff in Baltimore. And now we can say that it was not irrelevant that it was mentioned so early in the communication of in the material of Fantastic Beasts, because it's a huge element of the plot, not in this one but in the next movie. So yeah, it was an undetected to-go moment.
What I liked about this conversation was, not liked about it, but I thought about this conversation was, yes, Ilvermorny was founded by a muggle and a wizard or a witch, but I think the whole Rappaport law came into place later, and this is why they have to change the whole thinking about no matches.
Yeah, sure, it makes total sense.
But I didn't check. I wasn't like, okay, let me check. When was Ilvermorny founded? When came the Rappaport law? No, I just thought that maybe it came just later into play.
No, I think so too. Yeah, so not a prediction, but I thought it was funny that they were noticing that they are talking about marriage, and they was only thinking about, but that's probably just because Newt and Tina will getting married. But no, that's actually not about that in this situation. But
that reminds me, I watched the featurette again, and then I saw the line that Tina says, and then she's like, "Who is going to marry him?" And I'm like, "Oh, geez. This is so out of character, and why is it even in the movie? And why didn't they cut it? It's just a horrible line to say. Why?
Well, it would have made more sense if they would have left the deleted scene of Jacob in there, where his fiance is breaking up with him because he didn't get the loan from the bank.
That would but you could have easily said who would marry them, like in the no matches, and not him, like this poor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They should have.
Dude, sorry. Then I know you lost a lot of weight, but back then you were a little ball. But I'm like, every time I see this, I'm like, oh, Tira.
I feel like there could be some like underlying sister things with that, though. I think about, like, I have two sisters. I have kind of, I don't know, inside jokes. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but it could be like more of a jab at Queenie than necessarily at Jacob.
I think so. I think it was made to be a joke that everybody, and now I see a lot of memes being like, who is going to marry him? And then somebody's shouting, your sister! But in the moment of the movie, I'm like, oh, Tina, please. That is so not you to say something like that.
Yeah, but to her credit, it was a very stressful moment for her. She was quite trying to managing the situation that was totally out of her control. And so and to be fair, Jacob was in a very bad situation. He was just bitten by a creature, and he was totally sick, and so he was not looking good at this moment. So that's not his fault, but
I'm still like, you can say whatever you want. I'm still like, oh, really?
I understand, but
I'm defending you always, but this is just undefendable. You just messed up there.
Yeah, but I'm sorry to say that, but she's not perfect.
Yeah,
that's true. Everybody has this bad moment. That is so true.
And most of the time it's in front of your siblings. I know for me, some of my worst moments are in front of my siblings, so I don't know. It makes sense to me if they're so close.
But Queenie is not in there in that scene.
Yeah, but it's directed in a way to Queenie. I don't know, because
I was thinking.
How can it be? Wait a moment. How can it be directed at Queenie? Because Jacob hasn't even met her yet. They don't even know each other yet.
Exactly.
I guess retrospect.
Yeah.
Because she could
Yeah.
not see that this is gonna happen. So
You guys are just tearing apart everything I say. No.
I'm sorry.
Yes. That's why we invited you.
All right, fair.
No, but you see, she's really fond of Jacob. She takes them in because he's injured, and when she says to Queenie, don't get too attached, he has to be oblivious, and then she turns around to Jacob with this puppy face and be like, it's not personal. I mean, and then in the second movie she saves him twice, and I mean, she really likes Jacob. At that moment, I could
Yeah,
talk
but
for
I
this
think,
this forever.
for all this part of the movie, she is trying so hard to be the perfect horror that she's not, because she lost her place, and she's trying to be exactly what the Makusa wants for the horrors to be. So very strict about the laws between Muggles and between nomads and wizards. So I think she's playing the role that she's thinking, okay, I need to be that way to be reintegrated to the Makusa, to the oral
I
office.
think so. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense, because I personally don't think that she necessarily likes the law, but she knows it is the law, and so she is going behind it, or going after
Yeah.
it. She is not questioning it. That
Yeah,
was nice.
totally.
We talked a lot about Tina. Now we can move on.
Well, speaking of the scene we just talked about, Jacob looks, Shannon says, Jacob looks like he is trying to find a beast. He's on the floor while Newt and Tina are talking about the marriage laws in America. And Ariel says, maybe it's the Niffler with his little coin purse that he's looking for. Of course, we know Jacob has just been bitten by the Murtlap and can't stand anymore by himself. And that's
Yeah.
why he's on the floor. But yeah.
And as we just talked about Pickett being the best, the Myrtle is the worst. He is like this, I don't even know, it's disgusting.
They're ugly.
I find it so cute, but anything that looks strange, I find cute.
I like what Catherine said. She said it's like this naked, disgusting, beautiful red. It's not beautiful, but she said it.
Yeah, and they didn't mention at this point of the discussion that we can see the bloody bite on the neck of Jacob in the scene.
Mhm.
But later they talk about Jacob being bitten. So I can't recall why, if they knew that from another part of something before this clip, of if they were talking about the fact that we see the bite. But yeah.
Because the bite scene, when he is bitten, it is shot from a different angle than what we see then. So we don't really know what is happening there. We don't know it is the same scene. We don't know it's Jacob's apartment. And I think until the movie, they thought when they were in Jacob's apartment that it was Newt's hotel room. Wasn't it like that they thought? I'm pretty sure it was them that they thought that this rundown apartment was actually Newt's room until they saw the movie.
Yeah. That's right. One very sweet comment by Ariel was made in the episode saying, the Niffler could steal our hearts. And so he did.
Well, not mine.
I was about to say probably not Sophie's, but everyone else's.
It took him to a movie too that I really was like, oh, you do have a purpose more than being cute. Okay.
So I think she gets full points for that one.
Yeah.
Then we have Shannon saying, Jacob is backing away from the rattling case. Is this the first time he opens it? And is this his room, which we keep seeing in several clips? Yes,
Yeah,
you
so
were
now
right.
Yeah.
So Shannon at least didn't think anymore it was
Yeah.
hotel room. At least one person.
Well, they had very early on. Was it Aaron who made the suggestion in that the cases are being switched, and they have had this idea in their mind for a long time. So when you then see a room and only Jacob and the case is suddenly like moving, of course you're thinking, yeah, this must be his home, because why would he be otherwise in someone else's house? So,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay. Juliana, why don't you take the next part? You haven't said something in a really, really long time.
I know, I'm not feeling like really chatty today. I don't know why. I did chat a lot yesterday on our SpeakBeasty. What's the word for it? Staff meeting call.
Brainstorming.
Brainstorming.
Yeah, we brainstorm a lot, and I guess because it was cool, but it was a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of things coming down the pipeline. They all sound good, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one are we even on? Sorry.
Everyone in the hangout.
What?
Exactly.
That one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
What? The Merla. Okay.
Yeah.
Sophie, seeing Newt apparating
No. No. Everyone in the hangout.
Oh.
Two points.
That's the word you were saying.
How is everybody?
I was like, what?
This is life, people. It's like sort of life.
Unedited.
Unedited. Yes, that's the word.
In all our glory and stupidity.
Okay, so everyone in the hangout discussion earlier thought that the shiny egg was the swooping evil, but Igor suggested it's the alchemy. Oh.
Yay!
Let's clap for him.
Again, Igor, I mean, he just deserves the stupid award no matter what.
Yeah.
We'll have to make a little trophy for him.
Definitely. Maybe it will make him come back.
You never know.
Maybe. And yeah, I love that they spend so much time talking about the egg being more or less shiny in two very specific shots, and it was not relevant at all. But it was the perfect example how somehow we definitely analyzing this type of thing, because it was, like we said earlier, it was a scene that was actually two parts of the same scene, but they thought that maybe it was not the case, and it was again the editing of the trailer that was misleading, but this time it was not.
Yes, and going off from the discussion about the egg, Ariel is saying Jacob is bitten by something. Maybe this is it. So she's referring to the hatching alchemy egg. And sorry,
Nope.
That's not right. I mean, he is later bitten in the finger almost. You know,
Yeah.
when he's trying to, like, the head
Yeah.
alchemy, when he's trying to, like,
Okay.
hello, little fella. But that was not the one that we are thinking of.
And I love how Shannon said, could it be the Oculus? And everyone was, what? Oh, the Oculus?
Yes.
So yeah, so they recalled the fact that in the last episode, Mitchell, the guest, was talking about the Obscurus, and I this time I realized that they they didn't. It's almost like they choose to not discuss about that. And I wonder, and I don't know at all, but I wonder if it was a choice of them to not discuss further about the Obscurus thing, because maybe they felt that it was a leak from Mitchell and he was not supposed to talk about it, and he didn't want him to get into trouble or something like that. Because it's weird that 2 seconds earlier they were so focused about a little thing, and after that they were talking about something that Mitchell explicitly said that it was a central point in the movie, and they don't stay on it. So yeah,
I think that is a question we should throw later into the common room and actually ask them if they remember.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would be interesting.
Let's talk about what happened here.
yeah.
Sophie, do you want to...
I want to read Sophie. I do want to read Sophie in a British accent. I do want to read Sophie in a British accent.
Let Ellie finish what you wanted to say first.
Oh, sorry.
I don't even remember what I was going to say now.
Okay.
It wasn't like just 2 seconds ago.
I know. That's the bad part.
So, Sophie, what did Sophie say?
Seeing Newt apparating/running, thinking this could be after they might have escaped from Mecusa, Grace following him. She's talking about the rooftop scene. So, yeah, no, Grindelwald isn't following him, right? That is, he is trying to catch up to Credence.
Credence, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not sure they are talking about the rooftop scene, because we have the...
okay.
We also have a shot from Newt and Tina actually escaping from Mecusa in the hole.
In these holes, yeah.
And we have Grace on the exact same place.
But I think they are talking about this because Aaron later says to that point that it is kind of weird that he has to jump off the roof and apparates,
no, true,
and not just stands there and apparates, because, and then I think Ariel says it's because he's chased. Which is not true. He's not chased. He's not chased. He is chasing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but so I think that Sophie was talking about what I was talking about, and Aaron was talking about something else. But I definitely think that Sophie was talking about the shot that would say Graves in the same set than Newt and Tina running. So yeah. But you're right, they were also talking about the operating scene on the rooftop. Yeah.
I'm confused. Because
I know. I understand why, because it was really confusing.
And running. So they didn't apparate in the scene when they were running away from the death potion. So I think that, I don't know. I've listened to the episode and I don't really remember what she was saying. I'm sorry, Sophie.
Why didn't they apparate out of the room with the death scene? That just like completely...
Maybe there's something that you can't, like in Hogwarts, you can't just operate from the premises. So I would assume that this is the same in Mecusa and also underground.
And also in the Ministry of Magic in what's your country called? France.
What's your country?
I wanted to say French, so I knew that was not right. But I think that's the same thing there. Then when they are running, that they can't apparate out of it.
Yep.
Yeah. So the last point they made, and I loved it, and I am sure you all were like, ha 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 ha. No. They talked about how Newt and Tina could be a rom-com, and it was adorable, and I really like to see that. Although I would be like, that was so weird. But yeah, that was, I cried laughing when they were talking about that.
And I love how Igor edited the Titanic song.
everything. Igor, Titanic, not a rom-com.
because Ariel was singing and at the perfect timing we have the music. That was so good.
Really, I highly suggest that you go back and listen to this episode to all of our viewers here, because just for this part, it really was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole episode was really, really fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are done with our predictions for today. We did it. And now we can go to the fun part of this episode. Finally, we're having our joke of the week with Juliana.
Oh
I
boy.
just say that because you have written a joke into the doc, made a question of it, and I think Marjolaine said, "I think I got this one. I think I got this one too."
Yeah, it's quite easy.
I actually saw when Juliana wrote this one in, I was at the same time in the doc, and I thought, I bet she's going to do the same trick she did with me on our own little podcast.
You erased it.
And I
I
already wrote there. I don't know if you actually saw it, Juliana. But
No.
are you doing the same thing again to fool the people? And then I deleted it quickly again because I thought the others might not remember that this happened, so it's not ruined for them.
I'm sneaky.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? So, what game do octopuses play at Hogwarts?
Should we all say it together?
Go for it.
On 3?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Quidditch.
Quidditch.
Quidditch!
Oh.
Yay.
Quidditch!
I was really
no. Oh, I thought it had something to do with their ink, but it's Quidditch, of course.
Quidditch.
How would you, well, you could call it like squirtage for the ink or something, but
No, I said quidding. Quid.
Oh,
Quitting.
no, quitting. Oh, okay.
But it's Quidditch. Ah, I did
Quidditch.
not think about this. There goes my Ravenclawness about.
Well,
there it is.
don't feel bad. I didn't get the whole army and sleevey thing.
Oh yeah,
so.
that took you like a minute. That was really great. I love that.
Oh yeah, now I remember the army and sleeve because that is the great thing about Melanie and me both being German. I can see how her brain is working when she's translating a joke in your head.
Yeah,
So
you can.
Yeah, I could definitely run.
At that point, Juliana and me were like talking at the same time, and you can't really hear what I'm saying. But I said something along the lines like, it just goes to show that this is not my own language, and it takes me maybe a moment longer to get the joke there, because that was it was so simple. Of course, afterwards you're thinking, how stupid are you to not understand this? And it's such a cute joke.
I always be afraid of this, that someday Juliana will make a joke and only Ellie will get it because it's a wordplay that we just don't get.
Nope.
Like,
I am the worst person when it comes to jokes. I like just then I'm like, wait, what? Everyone else is like, say it at the same time. I'm like,
but I didn't think of Quidditch because I did not remember that another word for octopus is squid. So
I always have to think of Squidward from SpongeBob.
yeah, but I know him as Tadelius, so.
Yeah, me too. Originally, of course. All right.
It was a good choice because in the episode they talked about quadpods, so it was related to the episode. So well done, Juliana.
Wait till you hear the one that I have for our next episode for Puffcast. I like that one a lot. It made me laugh. So
I'm already so looking forward to the Puffcast new episode just because
Wednesday.
Just because of my one word that I will destroy you with.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So, for once, I will do the contacts. I think I've never done these before. So if you want to get in contact with us, you can listen to SpeakBeasty on all places podcasts are found. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at SpeakBeasty, Facebook at facebook.com/SpeakBeasty, Tumblr at speakbeastypodcast.tumblr.com, and you can email us at speakbeasty@gmail.com. Support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/SpeakBeasty, so you can become a member of the awesome common room and join us for interesting discussions, help picking topics for the show, and even get a chance to guest host on an episode.
Yeah, and I think Juliana and I can say to all of you that it's the perfect time to follow us on every social media and to join us on Patreon, because we are doing a lot of stuff during the quarantine. So yeah,
There's quite a lot of things mentioned yesterday.
and actually normally our common room correspondent episodes are in the off week, but today it is not, because we have a bonus episode of SpeakBeasty coming out today, I think.
I'm so excited for
coming out today. I'm so excited for it.
I'm so excited for you to hear it.
But also because I know that Melanie had like a whole list of questions.
Yes, so, I had.
Yeah, and
some game suggestions.
2 or 3, and Melanie was like, okay, boom.
It's up.
It is out.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. It's the top one.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got a notification when we first started this that it came out.
Oh, great.
Wow.
So I can listen to this now and then rewatch us later. Awesome. My whole evening will be like SpeakBeasty.
Yeah, so everyone, when you will listen to that, you can thank Melanie, because she is a big part of the fun of this episode, because all of her questions are perfect.
Oh, how nice! Now I'm looking.
They were really great. I was really like, oh, why didn't I think of that question? That's a perfect question.
You know, I never really make it on the episodes. It's always Sophie with her questions and theories. So, except for that, I guest hosted once, but otherwise, I'm usually not making it there. So this is nice.
You have to write them in an email. That's the key. If you just write something in the common room, it might not get picked up.
Yeah.
But if you write them in email, yeah.
So people will go to Gmail and send an email. That rhymed. Not purposefully, but...
No, you rhyme mail with mail. That doesn't...
I was going to say you rhyme the same word with the same word.
SpeakBeasty@gmail.com.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, so I have been Marjolaine.
I think I'm Allie.
I will be Melanie.
I might be Juliana.
And I'm always Sophie.
Case
Hello.
closed.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.